I don't know if we have video from the tarmac of Gavin Newsom and Joe Biden, because, of course, when the president of your party comes to your state, you typically show up, shake hands, on and on, which is interesting because California Governor Gavin Newsom is accompanying President Biden on parts of his California trip. Newsom has been garnering a lot of attention lately between his public fight with Governor Ron DeSantis over Florida's migrant flights to California. You guys talked about this, and proposing a new constitutional amendment on gun control. What do we call this? Like, he wants to be Rodman, ready on deck in case he's needed?
That's an excellent Pitbull reference. I'm going to give you 10 out of 10 club banger points for that reference. Look, I think Gavin Newsom wants to be even more famous. I think Gavin Newsom wants to be really important. And without being morbid, Democrats are thinking practically now about what might happen if, right? It's a non-zero chance, and I don't mean any offense by this to the president, but it's a non-zero chance that Joe Biden might decide that it would be better for him to not accept the nomination. For all of us, that's true. When we're over 80, that's particularly true. And I think if you're Newsom, you want to be in the story, you want to be in the zone, you want to be around. Not that you're going to challenge Biden, but that if something happens, that you're there and that you seem like the person to slip in.
But Newsom isn't driving this media narrative, is he? DeSantis is. And so Newsom didn't pick the fight. DeSantis did about the immigrants and what have you. And now DeSantis is raising money and they have the war of words and what have you. But Newsom is 1,000% behind Biden. He wants to take that debate to DeSantis, so Biden doesn't.
So DeSantis certainly wants the debate and enjoys the back and forth, and would probably enjoy even more if Newsom actually went over after Joe Biden. Here's Ron DeSantis on that.
What I would tell him is, you know what? Stop pussyfooting around. Are you going to throw your hat in the ring and challenge Joe? Are you going to get in and do it, or are you just going to sit on the sidelines and chirp? So why don't you throw your hat in the ring?
So does Ron DeSantis want to be running, Rebecca, you think, against Joe Biden or Gavin Newsom?
Oh, I think he would want to be running against Joe Biden at this point. I mean, I've seen, now if you would have asked me that a couple of weeks ago, I would say, I don't know, maybe Newsom, because he's so radical, I think, relative to a lot of moderates in the country and Republicans. But whenever you see kind of his media blitz and how well he's doing in defending his record and how he's doing it enthusiastically, I mean, he's quite the contrast to the President of the United States in terms of his youth and his ability to compellingly explain his agenda.
When I saw Gavin Newsom go on Sean Hannity's television show, I said, hey, this, because, you know, I'm a big believer that people should do hostile media or people should do adversarial media. It's good for them. We talked on this show about how well Tim Scott did when he faced difficult questioning on The View and how this is good. And the Gavin Newsom, Sean Hannity interview, I said, ha, 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 this is a guy who's trying to get in the zone. And he is, look, yes, obviously, Ron DeSantis brought the story about the migrants, shipped them to California. But Gavin Newsom, when I saw that interview, I said, this is a guy who's positioning himself in a bigger way. He wants to do the adversarial stuff. He's looking for the action. And I don't think he's going to challenge Joe Biden, but I think he wants to be in the mix.
But he's good at it. And the Democrats have a deeper bench than the Republicans think. And maybe he's showing his talent, but he's not going to challenge Biden. I think you're right. I think he does want to get on with DeSantis because there's something personal beyond policy about him and DeSantis and these immigrants.
Yeah,
because the governor of Newsom could ignore him.
But I want to get Chris, and then you guys can debate this. But at what point does the comparison become a problem? In that you have Gavin Newsom able to mix it up with Sean Hannity. We all watched it. He held his own. Certainly. Some got in a few punches. Here he is going after Ron DeSantis on Twitter. Here he is picking the fights, doing the things. He's certainly out there nationally from a media standpoint way more than the president is.
So for now, it's good for Joe Biden to not be in the news. Right? It's good for Joe Biden not to be in the news. And running a basement campaign is a good thing if you're Joe Biden, because what you want it to be is not a referendum on your own presidency. You want it to be a choice election where people say, I don't want Donald Trump. And that's good for Joe Biden. But you are right that in the long run, if Democrats become frustrated, Joe Biden just doesn't have much room for error. If Democrats get frustrated, if things aren't going well, if there are more problems, the call for replacement, the call for a deliverance could come.
Yeah, but Newsom could just be the attack dog for the Democrats, and he does that real well. How come it's not just that simple?
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.